Live. Yo, 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 yo. What is good? Make sure my mic is on. It's on. We here. Officially live now. There we go. I don't like that little delay. I ain't gonna hold you. Where it's like you press start broadcast and then it ain't broadcasting the way it should be broadcast, and I ain't really feeling that. So we gotta do something about that. But we here. I see people are going to be wondering, yo, is Nico traveling today? Is he going to be blank? His picture going to be blank this whole time? Very unprofessional. I want to apologize early for that. It takes him. He got the senior citizen type of mobility. It takes him a minute. Like if this was football, he's like Vinny Testaverde in the pocket, Drew Bledsoe in the pocket. He ain't moving or he ain't moving too quick. Me, I'm like Michael Vick. I scramble, get out the pocket. What up, Jawan? I see you in here. Uh,
There we go.
He's saying there we go.
Yeah, I make sure everything was right. You know what I'm saying? To make sure everything was good.
Your picture blurry as hell. You talking
Is
about
it?
there we go. You look like, yeah, you look like a Tetris board or some shit. Like you look crazy. But we gonna get you together. Shout out to the people pulling up. I see Juwan in the building. Think I seen Poncho in here. Everybody's pulling up. Glad you all can make it. Welcome to the Battle Rap Fix. I am Ledge. This is the self-proclaimed voice of the West. I don't know. He don't cover West battle rap no more. So
first of all, don't lie to our audience. There ain't no self-proclaimed nothing.
You don't. What up, though, Ro? I see you in the building. You don't care about the West battle rap. Like you don't got bougie. You only care about the mainstream.
What mainstream? The mainstream only gets covered here. I don't cover it nowhere else.
You don't cover the Drixes and who else?
I don't cover it. I've been covering them since they first battle. I don't cover them.
I don't know.
I don't talk about them.
The voice of the West, sort of, still, I guess. And we can give you that. Shout out Snack King Cole. That name is very interesting. I had a couple of jokes, but my wife might be listening, so I'm gonna say those. Speaking of,
shout out to my guy BP, man. Snack King Cole the building.
Yeah, so we ain't without further ado. I see him in the lobby, so we're gonna go ahead and introduce him. Ledge, my brother, the guy. Yo, what up? I see y'all coming in here. Gotta introduce him properly, man. This is a guy who is one of the best in the world, simply. There's really not many that's really on his level as far as being well-rounded in many facets. Been probably one of the most consistent over the past. I don't know. I start interviewing him pre-COVID. That's crazy. I'm dating shit back to pre-COVID. It's a whole different era. The pre-COVID era was different. Y'all don't remember the pre-COVID era. Yeah, so like 6, 7, whatever, however many years, he's battled everyone in their backyard a lot of the times too, and came out victorious most of the times, man. More importantly, he's one of the best with the sports bars. He's probably the only one who can give me a run for my money in sports trivia, even though I think he's ducking from that smoke. I've been calling him out, him, Real Deal, Trez. I know the ones. The rest of y'all just be saying sports bars because y'all look at the stat sheet, y'all watch sport. I know, but I want
a introduction.
I want
let that slide. I'm gonna let that slide.
Yeah. I ain't done. I want the smoke. But that's neither here nor there. But more importantly, I do want to say this before I introduce him. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, and I got this confirmed, right? Got it confirmed that he's my wife's favorite battle rapper. Sorry, Times. We still love you, Times. Who else she had? Piranha Mac, all the local guys, Real Deal. But she said it. She came out and said it. And it's her birthday tomorrow. So he better say happy birthday when this is her. So the one and only, man, without any further ado, we got A-Ward on the show with us right here on the Fix, man. Welcome, brother.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on, for real, y'all.
No, it is our pleasure, man. you got a really, really important lineup going on with you this year. One of the most dangerous, one of the realest killers out here. So we're gonna talk about, man. You got Frak coming up. No, I'm just. But
It's a fact.
I was wondering.
Possible,
I was wondering who you were talking about for a second.
That's
like, okay, where we going with this?
Hey, we laughing, but that's the truth right there. That's the truth. He's I got a battle with somebody who rarely loses and a battle with somebody who rarely wins. So and Frack is the one who rarely loses. So
yeah, all right. We're gonna get into that too, because I definitely want to talk about that. But first things first, we all know I'll put it on the screen for those who living under a rock. We do have a big matchup. A Ward versus A Verb, September 2nd. RBE, man, MAXOUT 3, big event. This is one I've been really, really waiting to see. You know, I'm kind of one of those guys who thinks that grudge matches never really live up to the hype. You know, there's some who disagree with that, but I think this one will, because I think Verb knows what he's going against. But for you've battled Ill Will, you battled Geechee twice, you battled Sharon, you battled Trez, you battled Danny. Just naming those because I see the whole resume talk, and I'm like, he's, you know. But this is different though. This is a legend. You know how prideful I am in the Midwest, so this means a little different for me. He's repping y'all state as well. It might not be your most difficult battle, might not be your most dangerous battle, but with all those factor in and it being on a card of this importance, because people talking about this is going to be card of the year, is this your biggest battle when you can factor in everything?
Yeah, I'd say it is. I mean, that's a testament to how great I've been, mixed with the legendary status and the promo of what Verb has been able to do as far as helping the storyline of this battle. You know, so I just think that I'm still competing at an elite level, at a top tier level, at a top 10 battler in the world level. So people are tuned in when I battle, and then Verb is like the number one trash talker. Narrative creating storyline. Just fun to kind of watch. And he's a Mount Rushmore guy. He is Midwest battle rap. And so I think that just, when you combine how much trash he's talked mixed with, how well I've been performing, people want to see what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah. And just real quick, because for those who kind of, I like to broaden up the spectrum of these battles and how they're created, because I don't like to insult the fans. Like, everyone doesn't live on Twitter and on social media. Some people just tune into the battles and say, okay, how did this start? Because when I was on Twitter early, you guys were like actually showing each other love in certain instances for certain things like years ago. So when did it turn to become like a real grudge where you're calling him out, he's like commenting every battle you have, win or lose or draw? Like, when did it really begin with y'all two?
I can only really assume, but it never really began on my end. So just from what I believe, I just believe that at one point, when Verb started to see a guy from the Midwest, becoming elite, becoming talked about, getting big matches, battling on a certain level, rather than applauding it and continuing to like co-sign and having the mentality of like, yeah, we the Midwest, you know what I mean? We got killers over here. He went a 180, and he basically was like, you're not a killer unless I say you're a killer, and decided to go the other route, And the one thing about Verb is that he knows how to create bags for himself. So he looked at me as an opportunity for a bag rather than, the opposite. And shout out to him. He probably got paid handsomely because of the fact that he decided to rather than co-sign me or be on my side, to turn the other route. The only thing is it just doesn't line up with every time we've ever seen each other in person, or every time we've ever been at battles, or the past. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's put out videos where he's talked about my skill set and different things, like I did a battle with Bars Major, who was on his Warrior Island, and a good friend of his, that he hosted, went down there, put on for his for Bars, I don't want to say like gave Bars a shot, but I mean, we know what it is, dapped it up with Verb, talked to him in St. Louis, talked to him at, in New York when he battled Pat Stay. You know, it's always been love. You know, but the minute that I don't know if he felt like intimidated from another Midwest person. You know, getting some kind of accolades or whatever. So he decided to go the other route, which is it's fine. I mean, we know that this whole battle rap thing is all like about creating that that storyline and stuff like that. Does it get old? Of course. I don't mind like the trash talk. I don't mind like the white boy, the salmon, the none of that kind of stuff, the jokes, the roasting or whatever. When I started to get irritated was when he started to try to deter people from watching me or supporting me, trying to tell media that they shouldn't even cover me, that I haven't done different things, So then you like reaching in my pockets, and he has a voice in the culture, and unfortunately in this culture, fans, they listen to who, they want to listen to. And so
do you think he's been successful in that? Like, do you think his outreach to try to like, hey, don't book this, or you think that's worked at all at any turn for you, or you think
I don't think it's really turned anybody that supported me in the past, or against me, but it's definitely lit a fire under the ones who already felt a certain way about me, whether they liked me or not, and it's created a space for them to jump on that same train and like pretend like I'm not good, throw insults out on their channels. And then what happens too is, a battler starts talking crazy about you, knowing that there's a storyline building up a battle for money. And then all of their fans think all of a sudden they can talk crazy about you. So you're starting to get, the same insults from such and such fan randomly on Twitter. You're getting 10, 15 tweets of people trying to roast you, call you out your name, telling you trash and stuff like that. Yes. And it's just like, dang, like, come on, y'all.
Yeah, Nico, you got something?
I'm listening, man. Because I was listening to the brother Verb kind of, unpack some of this narrative about this battle, and one thing in particular he said, because A-Ward, you're known for your freestyle ability, rebuttals that have shook the culture, shook rooms. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that a part of your ability to do that is battling people that stylistically are easy to rebuttal. Punchers, people who are not really layered, don't really rap intricate. It's more just people who they're predicated on the punch, and it's easier to rebuttal the punchlines and the easier references versus somebody who really rap and is intricate and layered. Do you feel like your ability to rebuttal and freestyle is predicated stylistically, or is it just you feel like you can rebuttal anything regardless of style?
I mean, let me answer that threefold. One, y'all see me freestyle in a parking lot, without needing anybody to say anything. Like I'm an elite freestyler. I come up with things, at a high clip, regardless of what anybody else is saying. So I mean, I'm cut from that cloth, which is funny because Verb is not. Verb is cut from a written era battle rap cloth. I have the ability to where I could go back and I could have competed in the battle raps that was, the freestyle joints, you know what I mean? Like, and I can still compete today. I've been able to do this my entire life, writing and coming up with things. Two, there's probably a little truth to that. I mean, people that put their bars into like the 4-bar setups or the haymakers, the punchlines or whatever, it's easier to pick that bar as something to rebuttal, Oh, hey, y'all, but here's the thing. Verb might be more difficult to rebuttal because the only time I really want to rebuttal is if somebody like hit a crazy bar and the crowd went wild. And unfortunately, like Verb doesn't do that. So
hold on.
I knew that was coming.
It's difficult for me to pick out what I want to rebuttal of his.
Hold on. Verb don't be creating enough to warrant a rebuttal. He don't create the show times. None of that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this much. When somebody says something and the crowd's going crazy for 10 or 15 seconds, and I have the ability to not listen to them rap, but be listening to the crowd go crazy, I can write a 4-bar whole rebuttal while the crowd's going crazy. You know what I mean? And then get back to listening to what they got to say next. And Verb don't. I mean, Verb, you get impressed with Verb on some of his cadences, some of his internal rhyme schemes and stuff. And a lot of times they're reacting because it's not really a punch he's getting to, He's like, just pair of Pumas and Barracudas. I shared it through, and and he's got, whatever. It's not really like an actual punchline. So he might have some truth to the stylistic thing. But I've never needed anything to be able to freestyle. I've gone first and freestyled about everything going on in the room before my opponents ever even mentioned a word, So that's really, it's not full truth, but I can see what he means.
Yeah, I see people
okay.
in this. Shout out. I wanted to give a couple shouts to people in chat. Shout out to Diva. Shout out to T repping St. Louis. To Neil, she said she's gonna be a little St. Louis biased. We ain't mad at you. We ain't
That's
mad
fine.
at
That's
you.
fine. I'm in Missouri too, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ref in the building. One of the goats, man. Happy belated birthday was yesterday. Shout out to Polo said in the building. Go Blue, my brother, my Michigan Wolverine brother.
Shout out to everybody. I got more questions. Like we talking this
Go.
battle right now. We gotta get to it. We gotta get to it, man.
Go.
So another narrative that he put out there is that you really haven't battled too many of the people from his era. You've battled the people of this era who have made names for themselves. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the original like DVD era grind, you know what I'm saying? In terms of that style, the Verbs, the Luxes, the Rocks, you know, people of that era. Do you think it's a difference between how they rap and their caliber and what they bring versus who you've already battled? Do you think that's going to be a struggle at all? I mean, what's your take on that?
No, I mean, it's a different nostalgia, you know what I mean? But everybody's just in there putting words together and rapping, you know what I mean? It's a different, like, you know, his era was like, you know, first era, you know, like almost the first era of battle rap. So, you know, I mean, how many active names are literally from his era or before that you have the possibility of battling, you know? The one thing Verb is doing is he's creating these talking points that really shouldn't even be talking points because I've only been battling for 7 years, you know? So it's like, let's talk about resume. You don't have the resume I have. Of course I don't. You're a Verb. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you look at your battle since 2017, when I first had my first like DNA type battle, it's actually a lot closer, you know? Of course you have Mook and Lux or whatever, but I've battled because I battled so much, I've battled a lot of names, you know? So then, you know, you haven't battled someone from my class. Well, check this out. You could pick my resume apart all you want, but check this out. There ain't nobody out there with 35 plus matches against URL opponents who isn't on URL. You know, like I'm not a part of URL to where every time I battle, I get a name like that. Yeah. I have to earn these names. I have to have leagues want to pay me to see me battle these guys, you know? It's a testament to like how good I've been, you know? So it just doesn't make too much sense. And then, like I said, I battled Reed 3 rounds. I battled DNA 3 rounds. I battled Cortez 3 rounds. You know, these are guys that, you know, are back in the day guys. Like, I don't know what he's trying to prove. But it just doesn't seem like it makes much sense. It seems like it's just a talking point that he knows can make him look good. But it's like what are we talking about? You know, I don't get it.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention, man, he battled Bill Collector. Like I said, Sharon. Like he's battled some guys, man. Danny.
Oh, battled a lot of these guys. You know, Red, Danny, Suge. You know, I mean, it don't matter. You know, and so you know when he's coming up, you know, one thing Chef Trez said today is like the guys that he was coming up battling, right, are like our legends. So like every battle in his class, because of the name they have today, that battle on your resume looks amazing because there wasn't a lot of battle rappers, you know?
Yeah.
Now today, we have to weed out, you know, like who knows? I battled King Jables. Who knows? King Jables could right now be one of the hottest battlers in the world, and that would look like a crazy name on my resume. But he's not. He's inactive and he's faded off. There's a lot more of that in today's battle rap because there's so many battlers, so many leagues, you know? He has the guys on his resume that we look back and say, oh, I remember watching that when I was back in the days or whatever. That's a great name, you know. But at the time, they were all just coming up. It's the same as like me battling a Mad Flex or something like that. We're coming up kind of at the same time, you know.
Yeah, and I would say conversely, some of the names back then that mattered during that time kind of aged out as well. Like one of my favorite battles from A Verb is him and Midwest Miles. You know, right here in the city. I still love that battle. But if you was to tell Verb, name some of your battles, your marquee battles, and he names that to like this new age wave, like, oh, I battle Midwest Miles, they'd probably look at him and say that's not powerful, you know. So
it's like Deacon Frost, you know, he didn't end up going and becoming what the rest of those guys on those cards were at, right? So now we're not gonna look back and be like, yo, he battled Deacon Frost though. But because those guys within that community of that era became, you know, what was the foundation of you know, this YouTube era of battle rap, that it's looked at as a bigger, you know, resume builder. And it's like, bro, you guys were coming up together. You know, who's to say that, you know, that battle versus Hollow, which is an epic battle, you know, in St. Louis or whatever. Who's to say that it wasn't as tough of a battle as me battling Geechee in Compton?
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
That's we know, we're not doing that. It's a fact. We're not doing that.
No, that is why.
I'm saying, who's to say they were up and coming battle rappers? You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a live pay-per-view. You know, Verb was at home. You know, like there's you know, you're looking at a lot of different things that we have in this era.
Yeah, but there's a completely different scenario with Hollow versus Verb versus you and Gotti, because it's recorded. The West leagues, and you've been in the West enough times to know this, is the easiest place to battle. There is no home court advantage because you got more reaction at certain points than Gotti did. The home court in the West don't play the same way back in the day St. Louis played. There was a real energy where the crowd was not rocking with Hollow in there the same way the West was rocking with you. The energy was completely different. The West don't have any issues with the Midwest on a competitive battle rap level like how the Midwest and NY did back.
Yeah, but you have to understand, I'm talking about Verb. Verb's the one at home. I'm talking about the pressure of that battle. I'm not talking about Hollow.
Yeah,
if I was battling Hollow, I'd be creating a different point.
Yeah. 1-0 war against Nico. I like this, man.
What you mean 1-0? What you mean 1-0?
I'm just stirring up controversy, man. Let me do my thing. Off of the Verb battle though, I just want to talk about blue room adjustments. This is something blue room. Y'all gonna be they're gonna be in the blue room for the battle.
What?
Yeah. You thought it was a big stage? Yeah.
MAXOUT. Forgive me for thinking MAXOUT would be on a big stage.
It's not, brother.
Forgive me.
Breaking news it's gonna be back in the blue room. Yeah, I know. He's a main stage, big stage. He don't care.
Bro, I wanted it on the big stage too, but you know, sometimes people just got stipulations.
Look, for this particular battle, I think his battle with Verb would be better in a smaller room versus a big stage. That's my opinion. I think
it'd be better for Verb, yeah.
But my point, I don't know about that. But my point is this: battle, like events, like I don't even want to bring in another league, but it's just when you have an event like a blue room that's dope in its own element, we don't need to bring your big stage events. We don't need to bring that to a small room. There's a time and a place for that blue room. That's that event. The big stage, you don't want to get away from. We got a big stage event, MAXOUT. This is something we look at. 1,000+ people in the venue.
Yeah, but I think
to me, you got it. It's like once you get an event that has a certain aura to it, a certain energy to it, you don't just want to keep throwing 3 and 4 of them out a year. Like, bro, just leave that for like once a year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even twice a year, maybe beginning of the year, end of the year. I don't know. The blue room is dope. I just don't want to see it get to a point where it's thrown out 4, 5, 6 times a year and it kind of lose its essence of what it first started as. Like when I first seen it, I was like, oh, this is different. Okay, I like this.
No,
now it's like, okay, we doing this is the 3rd event this year.
That can happen.
I just don't. That's my thing, but it's dope.
I think people want to curious about your adjustments. The consensus is that people got Big K over you in y'all battle. Like that's been the consensus. So with that being said, because when I noticed something about that blue room, it's not just your typical. It's like a small room, but the way it's shot, like the camera seems like so close to you guys. Like there's no really room for performance or nothing. It's like really. Like just with all the adjustments now that you know what the energy like, what they're kind of going for, because it seemed like they're just really like all of the punchers love that setting, or just raw entertainers like that. When you're going against Verb, are you trying to make adjustments based on who you're going against because he's so different than Big K, or are you making adjustments to the room, knowing what they are kind of into and knowing what you got to do maybe differently in this setting?
That's a good question. I don't know that there's a lot of adjustments. Like I've performed in rooms like the blue room many times, just with regular lights, and been successful. So just because one of the more one of the battles I've had that's been more of a consensus has been that I lost was in the blue room. I think people kind of overreacting. I think I did very, very well against Big K. I think my material was great. I think I rapped great, performed great. The one thing about the blue room that I know now, that I didn't realize is just that, It's difficult for anybody that's not like in those first 3 rows to really like hear and be like tapped into the energy of the battle. And that's kind of why like I enjoy the Blue Room idea, but I like to be engaging and entertaining to the entire crowd, after the Big K battle, I went back, was talking to some people and they're just like, and I project very well for a battle rapper. And they're just like, yo, like we could barely hear you back here, different things going on, it's like the energy is really kind of in that tight knit, first 3 rows. So, got to be more mindful of that. Like you said, the space to perform is a little different. So, there might be some more eye-to-eye contact, might be some more, touching, just shoulder bumping and different things like that. Nothing like crazy or whatever, but you just, if you want to be, aggressive in different things, and there might be some more of that. But the approach to him stylistically is just completely different than what it is to any other battler because he's unique. Verb is a very unique battler. He has a very unique style. And so, like I enjoy battling guys that are going to push my creativity and guys that like, I can say, I've never battled a type of battler like that before.
Now you don't seem like you have I feel like this is all just in the promo, like the dislike, like it seems like personally like y'all are okay. But
I don't like I understand why you have to do this whole grudge match thing. I mean, as selling, like the pay-per-view and everything like that. But I just don't, I've said this before, I don't like writing from a place of like hatred or animosity or anything.
I was going there because last time me and you talked was like years ago. It was right before the Ilmac battle. And I remember just like even off of the interview with me and you were talking and like how that's just not really your energy, you know what I'm saying, like that. So I was curious. I've been watching you guys go back and forth, but I just didn't know, like, are you in that same space with Verb, or is this basically just back and forth promo Twitter type stuff?
I got paid handsomely, like very handsomely, okay. And so what you want to do for the league is like make sure they know that you're not just sitting back like here's my bag, so you kind of go back and forth with all of that. But I don't need promo for people to want to watch me rap, and that's really the biggest difference in me and Verb. It's like if he just didn't say anything and rap the way he raps for the last 2 years, like he wouldn't be as like in demand as a battler as what he as what he has been. You can look like that, Nico, but like he's just not. He's not putting on consistently good performances.
Like his name don't carry the weight where you like. There's a lot of battle rappers that haven't had performances. Let's say the last 2-3 years. Let's say the COVID era, right? That they ain't really had the kind of performances they had pre-COVID. You know what I'm saying? When the world was really open, but they still, you put their name on a flyer. Nah, people tuning into that. That's still Verb.
Anytime you see Reed Dollars, you're like, it's Reed Dollars. I want to watch a Reed Dollars battle. You know what I mean? But you're not, and that's my guy. You're not like that. That's how Verb would be right now. If it wasn't for, the fact that he runs his mouth every day and tries to pick these fights where people want to see him lose very badly because of how, egotistical and ridiculous he is, or people want to see him go in there and prove the point that he's been saying for the last 2 months of how he's going to wash this, white boy or whatever. You know what I mean? So the demand and the excitement for the Verb battle is up because him talking. He's always going to be a Verb. But if we were just going like Rum Nitty won champion of the year last year without doing promo, you know what I mean? It's specifically off the bars and the performances consistently of what he did all year. If Verb was just sitting back and we were just going off the bars and the performances of what he did, like, we would just be like, I mean, he had a couple cool battles, a couple nice battles, should pass or whatever. But like lately, he's just been whatever, hustled, smoked that man, wasn't very good against Easy, he's just kind of high.
But do you think with with Verb, because and using you as an example, like Verb seems like, especially after battling Mook and Lutz, he seems like the type of person I need a motivation to get into that bag where I'm going to turn up. He doesn't like the battles where there's nothing really, like you said, hustle. Yeah. It's a battle, it's out there, but it's no energy there to really So I've seen him in those battles where he don't really look like Verb, but then I see him
Shook,
versus like
he battled Suge for money. He looked a bit different in that battle.
He was still, he wasn't good in the battle. He didn't.
No.
he was good.
I was adding to your point.
I wanted to make sure we're on the same.
I was adding to your point.
I know how Ledge do. You like throwing these little curveballs in there for no reason.
No. I was adding to your point. Like,
okay,
like
so when there's like a motivation. I don't know if it's the motivation of just showing, okay, I'm a superior rapper than you, or I can still do what y'all do. I'm still Verb, or if it's a real energy like on his side. But for you, do you think like with the battle with Verb, like are you looking at that like, okay, I'm probably gonna get the best version of a Verb like these other battles because there's been an exchange of words for a period of time?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's what he has to do. Is he has to create a feeling around battle rap that tells him like I can't lose to this guy, and then it's gonna give him more of accountability and more of prioritizing his material, more caring about his material, and sometimes it's worked, but there's battles like even the Mook and Lux battle. I didn't think Verb was spectacular or like incredible. I thought he was cool. You know what I mean? And it's like that's Mook and Lux. Like how much more motivation do you need?
Right.
So I think really what happens with Verb is it really depends on, the kind of crowd he has around him and just kind of if he gets into some pockets early in his first round that are impressive and kind of gets them, realizing, hey, I came to rap, then they'll sit with him for 3 rounds. But if he comes out and he's just on some white boy this, white boy that, just good rapping, but just tireless, lame angles or whatever, it's going to be kind of dark for him.
So real quick, I have a question because I should have asked this earlier, but there's a narrative, and I don't even know if Verb is the one who created it or if it just started after the Big K battle. But a narrative which I've seen on Twitter and hearing in spaces and different places is that when you battle other white battle rappers, there's a difference, and I don't know if that's specifically the Big K battle because that's when I heard about that narrative the most. But I know you've also battled the Sharons, you battled Ilmac. You know what I'm saying? Do you think there is a difference between how your content is received by the culture in terms of when you're in these battles versus when you're battling the Gottis, the Nitties, or anything like that? Or do you think it's like there's no credence to it at all?
Nah, there's not really any credence to it. That's the best way to spin something is to try to get, a specific race to look at you, as if you're insufficient or inferior because of like a race issue. You know what I mean? So basically, rather than him saying you can't beat white people, that's a secret way of him communicating to his followers that you guys overreact when he's going against black battle rappers. If you treated when he went against black battle rappers the way you did against white, because when you see when he's against his own kind or whatever, that he's not that impressive. So it's more of a way for him to try to manipulate the culture and it's saying you're overreacting with this guy. You're only getting hype because he's going against, a black battle rapper in this culture or whatever. So that's the manipulation of what he's trying to spin. But no, like I mean, Sharon, Mad Flex, Poe Rich, Carter Deems. There's a list of and there's not a whole lot of white battle rappers that are on the high elite level, let's be honest, but Real Deal, my battle with Real Deal is incredible, for my 7th battle ever. There's not a whole lot of guys that are up there, but if you look at what are the four losses that I think that most people would say the general consensus has me losing is DNA XL, Ilmac, and Big K. So it's two black battle rappers and 2 white battle rappers. But since it was recent against Big K, and then before my Big K battle, it was really Ilmac was the most talked about because it was on King of the Dot, whereas XL was on iBattle. It was just something else that he could try to like spin into something. I had a bar against Vixen where I basically reiterated his point. I don't know if it kind of helped his point, just by me giving, the attention to it or whatever. But at the end of the day, no, it's just another way of him trying to find ways to communicate to the crowd that, I'm not anybody.
That's well put. And that was a good question, Nico, because I didn't know about that. That was a talk.
It's not something that's like like a heavy narrative in the culture where it's like everybody talking about this daily, but it is something, especially after the Big K battle.
I mean, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. If me and Frack have like a debatable great battle or whatever, or people have Frack winning or whatever, you know, like the first thing he goes to on Spaces, you know, I'm sure he is in love with the fact that I'm battling a white guy, you know, before a month before I battle him, so that he can create some sport talking points.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Tennille asks, what is he doing to keep Sane from constant trolling from Verb on social media? Are you avoiding it or you are engaging in it? Because I think I saw you in Spaces either today.
Yes, I've never really jumped into any of these. Like most of the information that I've gotten is like somebody messaging me and be like, "Yo, Verb's wilding on you" or something like that. But I never really want to give time to it. Right now, and that was before when I'm not contracted to battle him. I'm like, yo, why even? What is the point? You know, like I'm not getting paid to do this. The battle's not under contract. I'm not gonna allow him to just troll me and go back and forth with him, and he ain't gonna never take the battle. Now that we've signed for the battle, you know what I mean? Like there's been like even today, like I woke up, I wanted to start writing, and I'm like, I need some inspiration. Oh, it looks like 400 people are in here listening to Verb talk about me. You know, let me go in here and see if he says something crazy that, you know, pisses me off, that gives me some inspiration to write, you know. But for the most part, you know, I know what he's gonna do. Like I said, to up until now, I don't feel like he's crossed any personal lines. You know, I think it's all just been like him, you know, just running his mouth. So yeah, I'm keeping sane. You see today going back and forth some jokes or whatever. I might pop back in here in another week or something and drop a video or something, you know, do a little promo or whatever. I don't want to be completely stagnant with it. But at the same time, like I'm not, you know, I got paid handsomely, but I didn't get paid enough to give him 4 hours of my day every day for the next 2 months. So like he does me.
Yeah, no, the bag wasn't enough for all that. He said, my boy Goose from Utah. Shout out to you people from Utah. I think he was at your battle. Didn't you battle EK out there recently?
Yeah.
I think my man Goose was at that event, if I'm not mistaken. No. Yeah, he said, what's the biggest thing he wants to gain from this Verb battle? Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't think there's really.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
There's a lot. There's a lot to gain. Come on now.
What is there to gain that I don't feel like I already get? I feel like I'm already respected. Every year I'm considered a top 5 battler in the world. I'm already, you know, getting big plates on the leagues that mess with me. You know, Chrome 23 is paying me handsomely, giving me big names. RBE's doing the same thing. You know, my peers all respect me, you know. Free Surf, but before Surf was, you know, calling me out, Rock's calling me out, Twerk's calling me out, the highest level of battle rappers, you know, Mook's doing interviews saying like that's a bad man, that's a dangerous, you know, my peers already respect me, you know what I mean? So the only thing I'm gonna get from like this is like, okay, in what was a quote unquote grudge match, Ward went in there and clearly beat Verb after he talked all that craziness, you know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna get. I don't think it's gonna put me another level of like some kind of like God tier, you know, anything like that.
You don't think? Come on, me and you are sports guys. We know power rankings and all of that. We do all-time lists and all of that. You don't think a win, like a clear win over him, like whoever may have got, we do an all-time rankings, you know, like you said, you've been battling for 7 years, not nearly as long as some of these other guys that are ranked high. You don't think you could go from somebody's top 20 to 25 to beating one of their guys that's in their top 5 to say, hey, he might be top 15 all time now? I think wins against Verb and the Luxes, I think it does shoot you up a couple of like spaces. Like you skip the line a bit when you get
I just already firmly believe that like I'm there, you know what I mean, whether people want to think it or not, you know.
All time you think you're there? I
mean, I just got listed in the top 50 all time for BET, you know, all time on the same list as these guys.
Hold on. Top. Okay, yeah, I was just like, where does he rank himself? I don't care about where BET rank. Where do you rank yourself all time?
Ooh, that's a good
question.
Well,
because I'm only 7 years in, like, you know, I do feel like if we're talking about like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into all time. If we're talking about just talent level, I think I'm top 10 all time battle rapper, talent level.
Okay.
Like,
well, I'm you know how we rank with all the other stuff, the impact.
With all of the other stuff that goes in, I'm 7 years in, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not mad at being within the 40 to 55, 60 range. You know what I mean? Okay. I think that I'm top 40 to 50, 40 to 60. There's just so many battlers, you know. Yeah. Real Deal didn't make that list. I think he deserved to be on that list, you know. A couple other guys I think deserve to be on that list. But
yeah, I
but
hate
yeah,
that
so
list.
I mean, it's a Verb. You know what I mean? It's a Mount Rushmore guy. A clear win against the legend is always a good thing, and can move you to the next big matchup. But I really feel like people look at me as if I'm one of the best in the world right now, and if that clear win happens, it's gonna move me up on champion of the year rankings. But we know damn well I ain't winning that ever.
Hold on.
So
Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. I was literally about to ask this question. I'm glad you set it up, so I'm gonna go there. So I said this to Ledge, and look, y'all know me. I don't duck smoke. I'm gonna say it. I done said it on this platform before. I told Ledge a couple years ago
on the phone
too. You were ranked 4th on Champion of the Year a couple years ago, right? Salute to that. I told Ledge after that, going into the next year, I said, based on who A Ward's already battled, and based on where he got ranked off of the year he just had, I think that he's plateaued with Champion of the Year. It's my opinion that unless you're getting a year where it's Mook, Verb, or names like that for a whole year,
I disagree with that.
Your schedule
still
doesn't really feature just on battling just all names all year. Normally, you'll go to the grassroots circuits, battle a lot of them people, pull up on RBE or the King of the Dot, battle a name or two here. But you're not somebody who just name chasing. I'm just going to battle all names this year to build a resume for a Champion of the Year. So in my opinion, I felt like you plateaued at 4. Do you feel like you plateaued for Champion of the Year, or do you think you are still capable of getting a higher ranking or even winning the whole Champion of the Year?
If they're not changing the panel, like, yeah, I said to myself, and I still firmly believe I should have won Champion of the Year that year. Like that was me. That was my year to win Champion of the Year.
What
like,
year before
in my opinion, I beat Geechee Gotti in November. Him and I were at the top of the race in Compton.
Ain't no he beat Geechee. I told
he ain't no that. No, he didn't. Cut it out. We're not doing that.
Ain't no
even if you don't have me beating Geechee, even if you don't have me beating Geechee, nobody has me clearly losing that battle. Like nobody has me clearly losing that battle.
No, I got you, Ward. Listen, hey, Nico, stop that West Coast shit. He won on every poll.
He won. Hold on. You know how many times, bro? He's done pulled up over here in the West enough times and clipped people over here. I'm not biased against anybody.
Hey, Nico, he won on every poll that all the consensus care about. Every poll that whether it's Jay Black, whether it's Jay Black, whether it's who else made a poll?
Hyperboy, Three Letterman, all of the votes.
Hip hop is real.
Salute to all the people. I'm not even trying. If people have you winning the battle, I'm not mad at. I'm not saying that you lost the battle.
Midwest.
Debatable.
Yeah, but what I'm getting to is like I had such a crazy year that year. I'm already looked at to the top. I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and have this Super Bowl matchup towards the end of the year. So I feel like I win that battle in his backyard, and then I go and you're not going to give too much credit. I go and have a crazy performance 2 weeks later against Homeschool to end the year out on our battle. And I'm like, yo, if I'm not 1 or 2, because I just know how the panelists and how everything happens. If I don't finish at worst second, like there's not any hope for me. Like I just did 23 battles, 10 big names, got crazy, had a crazy performance against Ill Will, just so many different things that year. Like I just went crazy. Beat Shotgun Suge, I think that year. But yeah. So like if I don't get there this time, I'm not ever gonna get there, because of the way that they judge and the system that they have. So the next year I did.
It should be just more about your actual like what the skill you display in the battles versus the names you display the skill verse.
Yeah, because here's the thing. They're always going to look at, because like you said, I battle anybody wherever. They're always going to look at my resume and say he battled a bunch of nobodies, right? But if you took let's say you took like a resume for like a Tay Rock or something like that, and you're like, dang, he got 6 battles this year, all against high competition, right? That's it. What if you look at my resume and you say, man, he got 6 battles this year against high competition, but he got 12 against nobodies. So why am I being penalized for going over here and getting bread and smoking the nobodies when I have the same amount of high quality competition battles as somebody else? You know what I mean? So they penalize me for even taking the battles against the nobodies because of the way it looks. I battle more nobodies than somebodies. When your favorite battle rappers in the world are only battling sometimes 4 to 8 times a year.
Yeah. 8 is being generous, to be honest with you.
I could do that too. I could battle just the names 4 or 8 times a year. I could finish this year right now. Right now, I'm locked in for another big league, right? And I'm locked in with Verb. I'm locked in with Frack. I've already battled Big K and Vixen, right? I'm locked in. I'm waiting on a contract for another big league, right? When I'm talking about big leagues, I'm talking about what we consider to be main stage, top 4 leagues with another big name. If I don't battle another nobody, right, I can finish this year with like 8 big name battlers, you know, and like maybe 5 or 6 1-rounders here and there, you know. But I'm not going to just stop my work ethic and stop what I do. I'm not going to stop eating random food in Sitka, Alaska, king crab made by some of the best chefs, you know, over by this ocean. They can't, you know, they only rich people fish out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to stop living my life because of some Coty list and like, oh, I don't want them to think I just battle nobodies. Yeah, forget that. Yeah. I'm going where the fun is, where the food is, you know, and having a good time traveling with my friends and battle rapping.
Yeah, we had that talk right after that, and you told me that's why I believed it was last year because here at Bar Wars we booked you against Stat Boy Chuck, and I believe after that you did the Poets of Autumn stuff.
And after that you promised me a battle next year, and then you just didn't stop texting me for like 3 months. That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Anybody else got more questions? Anybody got more?
They got more 3-0 against Ledge.
Yeah, no, you ain't about to 30 me on my own shit. Listen here, man. I see we got more questions in here. I hope I ain't missed any that were really, 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 really important. No, I didn't. So, okay, Melly. Shout out to Melly. She said, so you were basically saying was Verb able to maximize only through suspect bars and fights. I guess that was alluding to earlier when you was talking about.
I guess I'm saying is like, you know, like. And Verb said it, I think, today on his Spaces. He's like, you know, I make these bags happen. You've seen me like start calling out Swamp. You've seen me start calling out Ward. You've seen me start doing what I do, you know? Like, he enjoys the promo aspect of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't understand why. Like, I would hate to get online every day and just for hours just be talking about battle rappers. Like, you know, praise God that maybe somebody enjoy that, but I'm just glad that that's not my steez, you know? But he has to come out of pocket, talk crazy about people, because that's what the leagues want right now. There's so many random stupid battles that are just generated and thrown together that we're seeing in this oversaturated market. And it's like, yo, ARP wanted, I'm sure Verb probably wanted to go on there and battle somebody else and make the same amount of money. But ARP was probably like, no, you got to battle Ward because that's the selling point. You know what I mean? That's the one that's going to get me my bread back and make me some money, you know? Yeah. And that's what these league owners want. So Verb does a great job of that. So he has to go online, you know, create these fights, create this trolling or whatever. And then the suspect bars thing, I don't like to call them suspect. I just like to call them trash. You know what I mean? Like, because we haven't always lived in this whole pause generation or whatever. So whether you're saying, you know, I am a grinder, or whether you're saying, you know, like, you know, my heart, I know he said cement or whatever, but like, you know, my heart is like, yeah, those things are like in viral videos of him just saying some wild stuff. It's just trash bars. It's just trash writing, you know, whether you get caught up in the whole that sounded quote unquote gay or whatever. Yeah. Like I don't really get caught up in all that, but yeah, it's just not very good bars, and I try to stay away from that. There's not very many clips out there of me saying lines that people are like, "Wow, that was terrible."
We're gonna move on because I go ahead. Nico.
I got a question because you know I got other questions too, but there's something that we had just talked about when you were saying about how you'll have 4 to 6 names in a year, and then you'll go on a grassroots circuits, and you might have 8 to 10 battles, right? Do you think there's something like in battle rap that we need, kind of like how Champion of the Year gets together and has the panel to decide the best of the year? Do you feel like we need like a panel discussion with media and battlers to like start having like a verified ranking system for those you do battle on grassroots leagues? Because my opinion has always been like you pulled up to the West and battle Clutch.
Mm-hmm. Fire battle, by the way.
It is. I ain't gonna get into the result of that battle. I just want to keep on topic too, Lance. Don't bring up nothing else about that battle. All right. Look, it's a good battle. I know how you are, but especially with that battle. But like if you put Crucible Phase 3 above Clutch versus somebody name, his stock is elevated exponentially versus if you just battled him like where you battled him at. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you put West Coast Elites or Westworld or the Riot on something. it's looked at one way. But then if I throw URL, RBE, you know, a volume, a blue room or something, all of a sudden their stock and how they're looked at is just dramatically
like him versus Trez, like him versus Trez on the Connects, which was one of the better battles of that year.
Shout out to the Connects. It's just like, do you think we need something like a panel discussion where it's like, now we need to actually start having an honest conversation about where people are really ranked based on their skill and what they actually bring to the battle? Because some of these battles are very competitive. You're not just pulling up 10 times a year on scrubs. You actually have battles at some of these places. So do you think we need that discussion, or do you feel like it's already past the point of having a discussion like that?
No, I definitely think the discussion is needed. I just don't know how many bloggers or media have the platform or the backing to be taken serious in organizing that, outside of like the 3 or 4 main ones that kind of control, you know, really what people think. And so guys like yourselves that put on great shows, that put together great work, that really research bars, that really know the battles, that really, you know, be at the event and different things like that. You know, I mean, I'm sure, you know, like building a brand, getting subscribers, getting growth, getting people behind you, you know, different things like that. Like, to me, guys like you guys should be on the panel, you know, maybe not Nico just because that West Coast stuff.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
I'm messing. But you know, like these are the types of guys, you know, whereas you have other guys that are just like the promo battle rappers, creating characters, saying wild things out here, you know, just doing the absolute most. And then they're given a voice. But I do like France and Let's Talk Battle Rap came out with a list a couple weeks ago, and if you read the article, you could see how they graded, you know, their scores and different things. I don't know, did you guys check out that article?
Yeah, I seen what you're talking about. I didn't read
the
whole thing.
So I do think that, you know, when judging battle rappers, you know, since you're literally trying to take the year I ended up 4th, I had, you know, Geechee finished first. And that's why I always said if I finished 1st or 2nd, I wasn't going to be mad, because Geechee had an incredible year that year. He battled Lux that year. And I pretty much was like, it's won after the Lux battle, but I knew I still had to battle him. But he had, you know, umpteen amount of battles. After that, it was, I believe, Sue Surf and then Easy the block captain, and Surf had 3 and Easy had 4. And then I had 23. Like, how are you really taking these impact categories that are subjective, you know, taking these, you know, performance categories that are a little bit skewed as to if you had a great performance on this league, it matters more than if it was on this league, you know? Like, how are you really going to actually get a system down? So, you know, I do think, though, since you're taking guys that are battling anywhere from Danny Meyer's level of 20 to 30 battles a year, you know, to the level of like Easy's and maybe like the Tay-Rocks of, you know, a handful. I think you have to go in and you have to, at the beginning of the year, establish, what are the top 7 leagues from starting right now in battle rap. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to weight these 7 leagues as the major battles. Then we're going to take the rest of the leagues and we're going to weight them as minor battles, you know. Then we're going to give a score at the end of the year to how battlers did battling on these 7 leagues. And they're all going to, you're not going to say, well, URL's a 10 and RBE's a 9 and King of the Dots a 6. You know, we're not doing that. We're going to take these leagues, you know, and it could be maybe 4. You know, I'm not saying it has to be 7, but 4, and then maybe 3 levels, 4, and whatever. Then you have to weight them accordingly. And that way you can have a metric system that you can look at. And I could be like, okay, well, Easy only had 4 battles, but he had 4 battles on a top level league. He had 4 battles against top level talent, and he had 4 performances that were top level, you know? Well,
I think I want to add something to that, and because I've always felt like sometimes the name doesn't do justice to the quality of the material combined with the name. That's like, I always factored it in. Like, if you're going against someone, you know, like, let's say, I don't want to throw like, you know, sometimes Chess doesn't bring his A game, right? Like, does beating that version of Chess trump you having like really a grassroots classic with Trez? Me and Nico was talking about that on the phone. I was like, man, that's like low key one of my favorite battles. I love that. That talk about. I think even me and Ben Swayze did like a bar breakdown on his channel about it a long time ago. So like, when you compare that type of work to someone who beats a name, but that name wasn't at their like apex, I feel like that should get taken. Like it should be much more contextual, but you know, it's not. So.
But I mean, it's dang near impossible. I'm just saying, like, it can get better than just a bunch of guys up there just shouting out, well, this impact, this was more impact. No, this was more because they think so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, if I go in there and, you know, and beat Verb, and let's just say he chokes, or let's just say he, you know, he's just really terrible or whatever, so some people are gonna be like, yo, knew Ward was gonna win. Verb ain't been good in years. Oh, you won because he choked. Oh, you won. They're gonna look at it different. I'm still gonna get credit for beating him because it's such a high caliber match. But if he goes in there and raps all 3 rounds, has some good stuff, and I go super crazy, you know, like Vixen first and second round on him, and he loses clearly, it's gonna look very, very good for me. And so that's the tough thing, is the variables of judging my talent can oftentimes be contingent upon who my opponent is and how they perform. It's like, yo, when you're judging somebody, like that, it's just like, yo, like if I just drop 30 and 12, like I dropped 30 and 12. It don't matter if it was against, the Utah Jazz or the Boston Celtics,
Yeah. It's good. Son. We need, what did it say? We told Les to get on. Hey, T, listen, I'm not getting on that panel. They ain't calling me up. That's just not happening. Shout out to more people pulling up in the chat. Shout out to Marie from the West, and shout out to my man Mo Bars.
I do think though, man, because obviously the famous bar Lux said was like, it's not how many fights you had, it's who you fought. Because like in boxing, you're not gonna get credit for having all these amateur fights, but when you start fighting Pacquiao and Mayweather, obviously that's what is gonna be on your ranking and your resume. So I do get the point of the big name matchups. You have to have.
I agree with that.
To perform well, but like in my opinion, it's kind of like, because there's everybody you battle on a grassroots league isn't good. There are some battles where this person they're not there.
Not good, yeah.
League owners invest them, but they're not there. Then there's other ones where, like, I use Clutch as an example because I actually covered that battle. It's like, that's an actual competitive battle. Clutch is somebody who's actually really good out here. He just doesn't travel like every other battle rapper for events and battle. He doesn't battle that often, so you might not see him just out here working, but he's still a legit threat in the battle. You can't just pull up on him with just freestyles and just, let's just walk in the park, call it a day. Like, you actually have to like try. So do you think like with the panel, it should be like required? Like, okay, if you're not gonna watch all my battles, at least watch the battles with the people who are legitimate contenders on these grassroots leagues, even though they might not be your Geechees and your Nitties. Do you think it should be a requirement? I still have to watch the people who would either end up in the Crucible, the Brick Series, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of level where it's like either the new people or veterans who have just been around and now they're starting to get acclimated to the bigger stages and the bigger leagues.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, just look at sports, like you can't just be on SportsCenter talking about games that, that you didn't, pay attention to or something like that. You didn't get a update sheet on kind of what happened or whatever. You can't be an analyst. Mel Kiper's not an analyst, and he's just like, I got this guy getting drafted 19th, but never watched his football games, Like, I mean, these guys that are supposed to be like the professional analyst, if that's what you want to do, you want the notoriety of being, on a champion of the year panel. You want the notoriety of having a battle rap show where people buy into what you're saying, and you want it to be factual, So I definitely think so. But I mean, like you said, I don't expect you to spend your, watching. I mean, because if you're looking at the top 20, let's say the top 20 battle rappers, and let's just say the average is, 10 battles per battle rapper, that's 200 battles. That's a lot of battles. There's only 365 days in a year. That's a battle every day, every other day. That's a lot to commit to. So I don't necessarily think you have to watch every battle, but you have to have a very, very good knowledge of the core battles that they've done, the important battles they've done. If somebody says, yo, War Battle Riggs on Wartown, you might not normally chime into Wartown, but y'all need to watch this battle. You need to go watch that battle,
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think it should be battle rappers on that panel? Like split, half media, half battlers? Or do you think it's just watching the content? Do you think actual battle rappers need to be on there as well?
Yeah, I just think the battle rappers themselves probably need to show that, like in judge scenarios or in some aspect of blogging or vlogging, they have the ability to go in and analyze a battle, So I definitely think that battlers could and should be on the panel, but I wouldn't want it to just be anybody,
Salute to Mr. Temperature Check. He has a dope channel if you guys aren't subscribed to him. Also Sipping with Key. Sipping
Man,
with
get that
Key.
off the screen, bro. He's from St. Louis, man. Get that off the screen.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get that. Sipping with Key. Key, she's from the West as well. If you guys tune into her channel, she's really, really dope. We need more content from you, Key, wherever you at. I know you'd be busy, but we need more content from you. All the dope media, man. You know, I don't really plug too many people, but you know, the ones that are just out here not away from the drama, just talking battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So another question was from Tanil. She said, what made you at this moment realize that URL is not needed for you to be an established battle rapper? And I want to piggyback on that because last time I talked to you, I don't know, have things progressed, got a little bit better in negotiation? I know you get talked about this ad nauseum, but you know, just the update, you know, with where you standing with URL as far as like negotiations. Has it y'all, you know, been, it's kind of going apart, falling apart, or y'all getting closer to something potentially?
You know, I never really felt like I needed URL. You know, that's a very I say that loosely. You know, it's always when I first started battle rapping, obviously I knew what URL was, and I thought like, oh, the goal is to get on URL. You know, when I first started battle rapping, I didn't even know there was a such thing as battle rap groups on Facebook. I didn't know there was an angry fan. I didn't know none of that stuff existed. I was a fan of battle rap, watched YouTube videos, but I wasn't even on Twitter like seeing no back and forth. So like I started battling in 2015. I didn't know there was a media world or all of this other kind of stuff. I just thought you battled and people reached out to you, you know, until after my first battle kind of went viral. And then people was like, yo, you're getting talked about here and here and here. And I'm like, oh, what's this? So add me to this group. Now I want to see what's going on. So it was a goal. It was a bucket list. It was like, hey, that's the top of battle rap. I want to get there. But after like my DNA battle, my 8th battle, you know, pay-per-view, King of the Dot, blackout, going crazy or whatever, I said to myself, wow, I'm on a level of being a professional battle rapper. I can compete with everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
That still doesn't mean too much if you don't have like a path set out for yourself. So I spent a lot of time working at King of the Dot, a lot of time working on small leagues and different things like that. Moved over to RBE, you know, got these big battles. The last time that the last time I would say I had a battle where I said, yo, there's nothing left you have to prove anymore. Like you're a household name. You're one of the best in the world. You know, you just keep moving how you move with integrity. People are going to want you to battle. Is when I battle Ill Will. When I battle Ill Will on that main stage in front of 2,500 people on the Hitman Cassidy card and literally just shook the building over and over. And I was like, yo, what can y'all say? I just battled probably the most dangerous main stage battle rapper in the world, you know, at the time, you know. And I shook the building. I got crazy. Everybody left like, yo, Ward is one of them ones, you know what I mean? And I said to myself, like, you know, as long as I stick to what I'm doing, like, I don't need to go over there. You know, it's still a bucket list thing for me to battle over there. But that's not for everyone. I would never tell anybody like that, hey, go to a Ward path. Like, you have to really establish yourself as a household name and a brand and something that is like, you know, that competes at an elite level to like really survive without that machine push, you know? So I'm never tell anybody, hey, the crucible is the wrong way to go, or doing it this way is the wrong way. Like, I wouldn't say like, hey, do it my way. I would just say, luckily, the timing, my talent, the opportunities that I was given through King of the Dot, RBE, and other leagues, I took advantage of all of them. And now I'm at the point where, you know, 80 plus battles in, a lot on main stages, a lot on against a lot of tough competition, I'm still at the top of battle rap.
So has there been? So have they reached out to you of recent, or is it
No. We spoke in person when Loso battled Twerk. I mean, what's that? 2 years ago?
Ooh, God, yeah, that was a minute ago.
Yeah. So at that last time we spoke in person, I basically told them in both ways. I said, listen, I'm not signing an exclusivity deal like a long-term contract. I said, if a battle pops up that y'all want me for, call me and we could talk about that battle. And if a battle pops up over there that I want, I'll call you and we could talk about that battle. But that's just not, I'm just not in it to sign any kind of these contracted deals, you know? And I was just going to stay standing on that. And then P dropped a video maybe last year or whatever, where he basically reiterated, he said, you know, he compared me to LeBron James, which was flattering, but he's like, you know, if you get LeBron James, you're not just signing him to a few games deal. You know what I mean? You're signing him to a multiple year, long-term deal. He's like, and we think Ward is a star, so we're not accepting anything other than him signing to us for 2 or 3 years. So that's just why it's like it's not there. I don't like that. I've got a great rapport with Chrome 23, RBE, Riot, King of the Dot. A lot of the big leagues, Premier, stuff like that. I got great rapport with them, and I like to be able to move accordingly. So, and I don't like to have to rely on what they think of me this month or what they think that my career. Because I got a lot of friends that are over there that have had some success, but then have had some months
quickly fall out of
years.
favor.
Yeah. Where they're just sitting there like, what the heck,
Yeah, what just happened? Yeah,
hey,
it happened fast.
Real quick, because you were saying like when your first battle, you were just a battle rap fan, just wanted to start battling. Like, what were, I ain't gonna ask you for like a whole list, but like 2 battles that made you want to start battling? Like, you watch those 2 battles, like, oh, those are the ones. And then since you've been battling, what are the 2 best battles you've seen since you've started battling?
2 that made me want to battle: Bill Collector, M City, and probably JC and Chilla Jones. I think those 2.
My favorite battle ever, right there.
Yep. Those are the 2 that just the display of lyricism and wordplay and everything, and then the entertainment value from Bill Collector, which actually M City might have won the battle.
I had him winning, but I was in the minority on that.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know the Bill Collector stuff, like just the viral and just the entertainment and stuff. And Bill Collector was one of my favorite battlers, So those 2. And then since I've been battling, man, that's a good one. Man, I try to think. Since I've been battling,
let's make it easier. 2 that you were in the building for.
2 that I was in the building for. I was in the building for Chess and Easy. I thought that was an incredible battle.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that was an incredible battle. And then who else was I in the building for? I was in the building for
you wasn't for
I was building for Twerk and Rum Nitty.
I was literally about to ask you. That's why I said Rum. Like, you wasn't building for Rum and Twerk, weren't you? Because that was that DNA versus Mickey.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I remember y'all supporting Mickey. Shout out to Mick. Yeah, no, those are 2 heavy.
Those are the kind of guys though, like Twerk, Nitty, Chilla, even my brother, like there's a lot of guys that just make you keep on writing and keep wanting to elevate yourself, So I really, the consistency of them, I really have guys that I really think are dope at battle rap, but that are inconsistent, and it makes it difficult, But at the same time, like, there's a lot of guys that really still drive me.
Shout out to Archduke Red Cat from iBattle. He said, if Legend A-Ward team up, who did they battle?
We battled Joe Milton and Olivier Comwa.
All right, let me take that. See, we're gonna go ahead and listen. First of all, I would be the anchor of a 2-on-2. Like, I would be the puncher, the haymaker guy. You just throw a reference out, and that's how I would do it. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you meant like a literal anchor, like he was just gonna sit there while the other person's trying to move. This
is why I never invite you. Not doing no more interviews with me. You know it, right? This is a wrap for you. Enjoy this moment.
I'm not gonna lie. When he said, "Oh yeah, we got an A-Ward interview," I thought he was telling me that he was about to interview you away from this show. I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm a part of the interview."
Yeah,
I just hope Joe Milton's incredible this year, and then Olivier Comwa came to the Wolverines basketball team. I hope he's incredible for y'all. We gave you one, you gave us one. Appreciate you.
Listen. Joe Milton, I'm mad at him. Because all this stuff that he's doing over there, he could have did with us. I don't know what happened. I don't know
that how quarterback whisper. It's Josh Heupel, bro.
It might be Josh, man. It might be. Damn it, man. We could use him right now, man. All right.
I have a question, but it's like it is battle rap, but it's like kind of outside, like it's like a half and half.
Okay.
So like I talked to you. I don't know if you remember. I had a conversation with you at Town Business in 2019.
Oh, word?
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I talked to A-Ward about it. You didn't know who I was, but you know what I'm saying. So salute to Ward.
I've always been familiar with you, but yeah, that's probably about the first time I was introduced to you.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Salute, but not. I always wanted to know this from your perspective because I was somebody who, like, I have a lot of family that they listen to a lot of Christian rap. They're very heavy into like the God Over Money, Lecrae, you know, so just all the different rap artists and everything. And there was a big topic years ago where it was like the debate of, are you a Christian rapper or are you a rapper that's a Christian? And there was like a big debate between, well, if you trying to just be a rapper that's a Christian, why are you trying to like take away the Christian rapper? Like, I don't care if they box you in as that. You should just be that because that's who we are. And then the other side is, oh, no, I'm just a rapper and I'm a Christian. And my question was going to be, on the battle rap side, do you feel like you guys are labeled just Christian battle rappers, or do you look at yourself more as just, no, I'm a battle rapper that's Christian? Because, you know, a lot of times they come up with like Christians shouldn't use gun bars. You know what I'm saying? Or they shouldn't have this kind of content, where somebody who's just like, well, I'm a battle rapper that's a Christian could say, well, I could use this. I'm not putting myself in just this specific box. You know what I'm saying? So do you look at yourself as a Christian battle rapper or a battle rapper that's a Christian?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think that whole term just comes from like, music is content driven, right? Like, you want to put yourself in a genre where if people want to go listen to music that is going to be biblical content or content that is, you know, Christian based or whatever, they want to be able to find it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a CD store, or if you're looking on Spotify or whatever, you know, you got this idea of Christian contemporary music, CCM, right? You got gospel music, you know, like, we don't have music where the people is just a gospel. It's a content driven label, so that it kind of gives the viewer, listener to say, hey, if I'm looking for somebody that's that, I'm going to be that, you know?
Right.
And so I started out doing poetry and music and different things, and my content was Christian, you know? So it's like, hey, for the most part, people, you know, that want to listen to Christian rap, like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian rapper, you know? Well, in the battle rap scene, I would argue that I am a Christian, but I would argue that it's not necessarily biblical content or Christian content in the battles. You know what I mean? I'll say God is good all the time. I'll reference, you know, the fact that I'm a Christian. People will go against me and call me a Christian. You know, like, I don't really even have to say it. At the end of the time, at the end of the day, the viewer is going to be like, he's a Christian, you know? So I am a battle rapper that happens to be a Christian. And I would think that I would fit into that mold right now as it pertains to that, because my content isn't, all right, I'm going to talk to you about Ecclesiastes 3 this round, you know, or I'm going to talk to you about reconciliation, or we're going to talk about, you know, eschatology, you know, and that's kind of how music is driven when it comes to like Lecrae, Bizzle, those types of things. Every song you're hearing is some kind of content driven, you know, song. So that's why it's like, I'm a Christian rapper. Like, hey, you're looking for somebody to listen to that you want it to be content driven with Christianity. I'm a Christian rapper. I don't mind taking that label. That's what I do, you know. But with battle rap, it's like, I am a Christian, but battle rap, like, I've had so many people. I mean, when I first started battling, I had pastors that booked me for shows that turned around and was like, yeah, that's not, you shouldn't be doing that. You know, I had more people hating on me in the faith than I did, you know, in battle rap, because they just is like, yo, you're not elevating or uplifting the Lord's name in this, you know. I look at battle rap as competition. I look at it as keeping the integrity of who I am, not going over personal lines, not cursing people, not having material that I go back and say, dang, I can't believe I said that about his mom, or I can't believe I did, you know, just negativity, you know. But I'm also competing just the same way Tim Tebow competed in football. He's a Christian, but you think he's not going to stiff arm you and throw your face into the ground? You think Steph Curry's not going to cross you up and then turn around and shrug his shoulders with a little swag? You know what I mean? Like, he's a Christian too. That's how I approach battle rap. It's like, yo, I am saved, but I'm about to go in here and compete with you, smoke you, you know, stay who I am, not try to be out of character, and still love the Lord. So
And then on the other side of that question, when the actual Christian rapper or rapper that's Christian, what side of that debate were you on? Were you more so we should just all
I was on the Christian rapper side, because I was always just like, I mean, I feel like telling somebody, hey, I'm not a Christian rapper, I'm a rapper that's a Christian. It's like, it's kind of just like backpedaling out of like wanting to, I mean, I understand it's like, I don't want to be put in a box, but it's like, and I don't care what you say, as long as you know I love the Lord, you know, like, I really just like, it doesn't really matter. But like, Lecrae was doing Christian rap for so long, and then he turned around and he's like, yo, I want to take this and I want to start doing, you know, South by Southwest, and I want to start doing songs with Waka Flocka and over here, this, that, and third. I'm putting out these mixtapes and stuff. And he was like, that man still to this day, I guarantee you, all of his revenue checks are from youth groups youth conferences, white evangelical, concerts of people that are bumping Go Hard or Go Home, Rebel, Rehab, right?
Yes.
Like that's where 80% of his money is still coming from. So trying to backpedal on that, I'm not a Christian rapper, is like, bro, you built this huge support system off Christian rap, Like, so I definitely think from an artist standpoint, I understand. It's like, I don't want you to box me in. I rap. But at the same time, it's just kind of like 6 to 1, half a dozen to another to me.
So then the last part of that is, I'll put you on the spot with this one. There's a lot of Christian rappers out there. There's a lot. Bizzle or Lecrae, or is it somebody else like Seven or somebody like that? Who is the best? Who's A Ward think is the best Christian rapper out? Who's the best?
Right now, if I had to say the best Christian rapper, I don't listen to a lot of Christian rap music. Like, it's kind of like how I don't listen to a lot of hip hop anymore. Like, I'm still like Nas, Fabulous, Hova, Wayne, like I still listen to that old stuff. But I would say KB is probably the best out right now. He signed to Reach Records. Dayton, who used to be a battle rapper, and he's part of God Over Money, and he's got his own Menace movement or whatever. Dayton is really, really good. A lot of people don't remember Gemstones was one of my favorite at one time, and he was signed with Lupe, and then he came over and did a couple Christian hip hop albums and was incredible. But yeah, Lecrae's always good. Bizzle's got his own little lane. I rock with Bizzle. We're really good friends or whatever. The same with Fizzle. Fizzle, they got these specific lanes. But if I had to just go like all around, I probably would put KB, No Big Deal, and obviously my brothers like Loso, Saga, and Street. But they don't put out as much music as these guys on those platforms, So, but I think Saga makes some of the greatest music. I love Saga music. So once he drops the album, he'll be number one.
Yeah, now my family put me on the God Over Money because I obviously knew who Lecrae was, early. You already knew because he was like one of the only ones at one time. But once they put me on the God Over Money, Bizzle was like my favorite. He's like one of my favorites to listen to. Him, all of them.
Yeah, so little stories like three Christian rappers told me to start battle rapping. Like basically told me stop rapping and start battle rapping because I never really loved doing music, right? So I did music. I got 3 albums. I was signed to a label. I did a poetry album, right? But I didn't have a love for writing songs. I just needed to find an outlet because I knew I was good at writing, but I didn't like make great music. There's 3 guys that told me, yo, Ward, you need to stop rapping and go battle rap. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, and this is like, I'm talking 2012, 2011. I didn't start battle rapping until 2015. But one of them is from God Over Money. He's a friend of mine named Bumps Infinite. And Bumps Infinite, like literally,
I rock with,
on my head, like, yo,
Ward, salute
you need to get in the ring. And another guy, he was signed, he did the 13 letters. He was with Tadashi and Reach. His name is Dylan Chase. Dylan Chase is another guy who was like, Ward, like you need to. And then there was a local guy that was with named Dre Sr. here in Kansas City. And he would always tell me to see me perform and do songs. And I would do acapellas and punchlines. He would be like, yo, Ward, like, have you ever thought about battle rap? So finally, after all that, and then seeing Saga and Street start battling, I was like, all right, I gotta try this out.
Yeah. Salute to Bumps, man. He was one of my favorites. List that man.
Man.
Album. Him and then Seven. He's actually from
the same neighborhood that I'm from
in Sacramento. Yeah, he's actually from the same neighborhood. So I salute him a lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, now that I listen to it still here and there, not as heavy as back in the day, but it's a lot of dope lyricists that's in that.
Genre. If some of those guys that I kind of grew up in doing Christian rap dropped up, I'll definitely navigate to that. But I just don't even listen to a lot of hip hop unless it's somebody specifically like, yo, you got to check this out. You know what I mean?
Me neither.
Anymore anyway. I'm kind of grown a little bit from that. So
yeah, I'm definitely R&B and like jazz type of stuff. And like I'm getting an education here, man. I only know about Bizzle and Lecrae, obviously. So I'm learning. Like I'm about to go check some of these people out.
2009, me and Bumps, we was freestyling in Kansas City at the park, for a show. He was out there too. And I'm just spitting punchlines, like 2009, I remember I said something like, you'll end up in the fiery pit, like tip backwards, that, or something, something just basic, whatever. And, Bumps was just like, yo, he over here like punching like crazy, and I had a bunch of different lines and we just linked after that. We got on the phone and for years, man, like he's a punchline artist. If you ever listen to Bumps mixtapes and stuff like that, you'll see, Chris Broussard hosts his mixtapes. They're real good friends. And Chris Broussard is a big Christian hip hop fan. So like, Ledge, there you go. Chris Broussard be on there like, yo, check it out. So, but yeah, it's a good dude.
Ledge is anti Broussard, man. He don't rock with Broussard. Man,
I like it. No.
Well, Bucks is from Ohio, so Ledge is gonna just throw it all out the window anyway. So
that's a fact. That's a fact, man. Listen, man. Only person I rock with over there is Ref, man. If you ain't ref and Fonz, then I ain't really rocking with nothing out of that state. Hell, man. Woody Hayes traveled with his team up here and refused to get gas from up here. That's a fact. It's been smoke ever since.
The state up north.
Yeah, man, I don't like that, man. But
maybe y'all gas was overpriced, man.
Hey, watch out, man. Watch your mouth.
I'm just. It could be the case. I don't know.
This is why me and you always going at it. This is why me and you always going at it.
Speaking of colleges, I did see somebody earlier said this, and I wasn't gonna ask this person.
I was trying to ignore it, but go ahead.
But I'm at because we have our supporters. Salute to all the supporters, everybody here. He said he wanted me to ask this question to A Ward. I just wrote down. He said Tennessee volunteers and those violations. I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's some narrative with that, but what does that mean? Hey, I'm assuming it's something going out there. Y'all that got caught red-handed. What's going on with that? The Tennessee volunteers.
What that means is my favorite college football team at one point was terrible at cheating and really good at snitching on themselves. So that's exactly what that means, man. We had so many violations during a period with this coach that came over from Alabama, and they handed out $60,000 in McDonald's bags to recruits. This is before all the NIL stuff. They got caught. We were losing, and we were losing bad anyway. So they were cheating terribly because we weren't even getting the recruits and had the coaching to actually be good. And so since we were firing the coach anyway, to avoid having to pay him his $12.5 million buyout, we snitched on ourselves. And we told the NCAA, yo, our coach been cheating, and so we went through the whole investigation and everything. The NCAA appreciated us, allowing them to investigate it. That coach got thrown out, and we got hit with with a little bit not as bad of a penalty as what it would have probably been had we just been winning and been like, yo, we don't know what you're talking about. So
you still support them.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm Michigan, bro. We don't even got to talk about.
Come
Michigan.
on, man.
Yeah, we don't want to go into those violations.
I'm a USC dude, so we just.
I was gonna say, you got Reggie Bush, Heisman gone. Reggie Bush, Heisman gone.
Listen, I had to deal with that for a decade, so I'm just glad we getting looked at now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, man, I'm just glad we didn't get a bowl ban. We lost about $8 million. We already got some scholarships removed, but it could have got dark for us the way them violations was looking.
Well, y'all died. The SEC always getting away with it. They always getting away with it, man. They ain't getting away. They try, man. They good, man. They good. Coach Pruitt, I think he was. That's who it was over there.
Yeah, he who shall not be named.
Yeah, no, I remember him. We dodged a bullet because I wanted him as our defensive coordinator, but yeah, no.
No, you know what though? Defensive coordinator ain't bad at, but that was his first coaching job, and he just came in. I'm reading the article. His wife paying people with money and stuff. I'm yo, y'all.
Yeah, all the coordinators I thought I was gonna be dope, and Brent Venerables or whatever at Clemson had a bad year at Oklahoma. I don't know. Listen. I want to sport it out.
Yeah, your listeners want a certain thing.
Yeah. I was about to get into my bag.
I was about to ask another sports question, but we
go. I don't care.
It's funny, Nico. That B-Dot played for Oregon State, and did you see the highlight of Reggie Bush putting him in that spin cycle? That's one of my favorite highlights, bro.
Did you? I focused on the highlights of him. You know what I'm saying? Getting touchdowns. No, you know what I'm saying?
That's not a diss because B-Dot to be at Oregon. I don't care what position. If you're playing D1 college football, you're incredible to me. You know what I mean? You're an incredible athlete. Yeah, no. I just think it's wild, that he was the gunner on that play, and that particular punt return for a touchdown is on the front of the Sports Illustrated. The articles in the Sports Illustrated magazine. But man, USC, man, I rock with USC, even though Lane Kiffin left us for him.
Yeah, he could have stayed where he was at. Where he was at. We didn't need him over here. But my question was going to be, as a sports guy, because I'm a big sports person, Ledge is too. What is your greatest moment as a sports fan for you, and then the flip side of that is what's the most heartbreak you've had as a sports fan?
I think I know this one.
Well, I was 14 when we won the national championship. So 1999, T. Martin. The year after Peyton left. Everybody always like, oh yeah, Tennessee, they won the national championship when Peyton was there. Like, no, he never could beat Florida, and we always missed the national championship game by one game or something like that.
Yeah, he lost the Heisman to a Michigan guy, didn't he?
Huh?
He lost the Heisman to a Michigan guy, didn't he? Good old Peyton Manning.
He was. Yeah, you seen some battle rap judges are bad. Wait till you see the Heisman judges.
Don't do that.
No.
Isn't it more like, he played 6 snaps on offense, so he's got a better impact.
He was in double digits. He was in double digits. He was in double digits on offense. Yes.
I'm glad Charles Woodson ended up being a Hall of Famer, because I would have hated it if he would have Ryan Leafed his career out and won the Heisman like that. But yeah, so the year 98 was the year, 99 was the game. T. Martin, national championship. I remember that. I was 14 years old. Incredible. 2004, my senior year of high school. We beat Florida on a field goal and rushed the field and everything. That was incredible. Last year, beating Alabama. I was on the Post and Autumn tour. Literally, the game ended at 7:07 p.m. The itinerary for our Post and Autumn tour, it starts at 7. A video, 1 poet, 2 poet, then me. I go up at 7:13. And I'm watching the field goal at 7:07, literally have to walk out on stage 6 minutes later and do a poem, you know what I mean, in front of 500 people. But I'm out there going crazy. So that whole Tennessee Alabama game. And then on the flip side, the worst, man, there's been a lot of bad ones. A lot of bad ones. I'll take 2. I'll play in the Elite 8 against Purdue. We fouled this dude shooting a 3-pointer, and he ended up making all 3 free throws, and then they beat us. That was about 5 years ago, I think it was.
Who was on y'all squad at that time?
We still had Grant Williams, I believe. Really? We had Grant, we had Schofield, we had Josh Bone, we had some good basketball players, and we never made to a Final Four before, and we were up. It was rough. Last year, man. Hendon Hooker's a Heisman Trophy, probably going to win the Heisman, and all we got to do is win 2 games, and we're probably in the Final Four. All we got to do is beat South Carolina and Vanderbilt.
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, we lose to South Carolina. He tears his ACL. He doesn't end up winning the Heisman. So that was really, really rough last year. But yeah, those are some 2 really, really bad ones. Everything from me is going to be Tennessee. So as people know, I've been a Chiefs fan since 2009. I moved to KC in 2005, and I went to high school with Chiefs punter, and they drafted Eric Berry, and I was like, yo, this is my squad, because I didn't really have an NFL team. But I'm a huge Chiefs fan, but when it comes to an emotional attachment, all right, I'm not going to church tomorrow because we lost. Or I'm going to be mad all week long. It's always the Vols.
Oh yeah. No, I'm like that. When the Wolverines lose to that disgusting team down south, I don't even have a show.
Those moments, it sound like heartbreak, but hey, listen, I'm a Kings fan, man. Vlade Divac forgetting he's a basketball player and volleyball passing to Ori. Ain't nobody got anything like this. Man forgot he was 7'1".
That's rough.
And couldn't grab a rebound. Bro,
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but okay.
To me, ain't nobody got one over that. I'm sorry, I don't care what sport you in, man. That's the worst.
So here's a tidbit for you. Tennessee is the only college football team to ever finish the season undefeated and unscored on, right? So this is back in the 30s, right? So they finished the season undefeated, never gave up a point. Played in the bowl game against USC, and y'all beat us 19-0.
Are you serious?
So we didn't even score.
Man,
that is crazy. That is crazy. Oh, look, before because I do want to talk about Frack, because Frack is an important battle real quick. Real quick. I know you're busy, but I do want to mention that battle because that's one of my favorite battles that I've seen announced all year. No lie. I've always considered, I would say probably since he beat XL, and I feel like he's been on his run. He went against Thesaurus. We all know the biggest robbery in tournament history against Disaster, in my humble opinion. What he just did to Soulkind was filthy. I feel like he is one of the most truly dangerous battlers. I think his personality in the skits I think people forget he's a killer. Like he's really one of them. He's one of the better anglers up like in the world to me. So with this battle, we speaking about college football. You know how it is when you're a ranked team. You have the big game, but then you have those in between games that some could consider a letdown. How are you training yourself once you get a Verb out the way to like, okay, the energy, because the energy might not be the same in that battle, you know, as far as going into the battle. Like, how are you mentally preparing yourself for what's to come with Frack after Verb?
No, Frack's before
No,
Verb.
Frack's before Verb, excuse me.
Yep.
Well, how would you mentally
Yeah,
prepare
like
yourself
you know,
all
like
the way?
it's the idea of a trap game. You know what I mean? It's
Trap
the
game.
idea of, you know, and I hate to say that because most of the time a trap game is playing like inferior competition before like, you know, your big rival matchup or whatever. And to me, Frack is not inferior competition. You know, like I said it and I firmly believe Frack is more difficult to write for and to clearly beat than Verb. I believe that.
Ooh.
You know, I believe that, you know, you can probably
bold
count on.
statement, Ward. That's a
No,
bold
listen,
statement.
like if you look back over the last few years, how many times Verb's been clearly beat and how many times Frack's been clearly beat? I guarantee you Verb's been beat more.
Verb,
you know,
Verb definitely. Yeah.
Frack don't lose
so
battles like that.
Going into the Bay, where Frack is from, you know, has a high, you know, he loves the Bay, man. He's got a great following there, man. He does freestyle shows, he does concerts, he does a lot in the Bay. Like it's gonna be heavy. The last time I battled there, I battled Ilmac, who was a heavy Bay favorite. And I felt like, you know, the crowd was like, "Yo, we rooting for our guy."
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, like he's meticulous. He attacks from certain angles. He says things that, you know, he doesn't go for the, "Oh, you're a white guy, you're a Christian or whatever." You know, the normal type stuff. You know, he's gonna pick apart a line I said against somebody, and he's gonna dissect it, or he's going to have a crazy spin on me not doing URL battles that has never been thought of before.
Done, yeah.
You know. And like guys like him and Dunch and different guys, like they're able to go in and like give material that you never would have thought, you know? So it's gonna be a very difficult battle to clearly win. I believe that, you know. I'm gonna write, you know, my best. I'm gonna perform my best. I'm gonna go in there and try to, but I'm not naive to the point that Frack, you know, is a very difficult person to face. 90-second rounds is what it's supposed to be. You know, him and I talked. I told him I'm cool with going to 2 minutes. You know what I mean? I don't want to,
Really?
you know, I don't like, you know, like the whole timing battles and stuff like that. But I also, you know, I took the battle for a certain price. I took the battle, you know, when it's 90-second rounds, they always want to pay you a little different than, you know, the 3-minute round type things, which I get. And, you know, he knew that I have a lot on my plate. I was originally supposed to have a battle the week before Frack. That was a huge battle, but that event got pushed back.
Really?
So like when I took the battle with Frack, I was already prepped to be battling a legend on a big league and you know, and then have to battle Frack the next week. So, you know, now that battle got pushed back and I'm able to focus more on Frack, you know, I'm excited. But like obviously this Verb stuff and the promo going back and forth, it's gonna make it look like I'm overlooking him. But we both know like I'm a professional, and you know, I'm gonna come in there and we're gonna put on.
Yeah, that's why it was important for me to mention him, because I do feel like they're over. Even me, for like you see, I just thought it was after Verb because Verb and you guys have been so much in the forefront.
Well, what's gonna happen is these next 2 announcements for the RBE card, there's gonna be a lot of talk about you know, these next 2 announcements. So even though me and Verb will still be promoting, right now it's a heavy back and forth because we're the most recent announcement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna be able to kind of get into, you know, just the promoting the Frack stuff or whatever while the battle rap community goes crazy.
You think the next 2 announcements is gonna be?
They're gonna be crazy.
Like so there's 2 types of crazy. Like crazy as like
on the same level as the first 2.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as star power, or just far as the. Oh,
yep.
Okay. You ain't really never, you know, you ain't never lied to me. So
this is a night of main events. This is a night of main events.
Say less. I am looking forward to those.
Hey, Les, can we create some controversy? I want to see if I can get A Ward to talk some ish. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if I can talk some ish real quick. So
I don't think he needs to be forced to. I think he's good at it.
No. Because earlier A Ward said there's only like a handful of battles that people go to and say, okay, these are my clear losses, right?
Okay.
Out of that handful, they say 4 or 5, right? Who's the one battle where you like, I really wish I had a redo on that battle, because there's no way they should have won that battle. Or the person you just like, man, I promise you, if I had a redo on that battle's completely different. Like, is there a battle for you like that, or do you think?
I mean, it's just Excel. It's just Excel, really. You know,
that one.
DNA was my first, like, I mean, I battled Real Deal on Gully versus Gannick, but DNA on Blackout, you know, my 8th battle. And I believe on paper I won the battle. And actually the pay-per-view commentators, like, you know, how they used to always have commentators between the battles, like Roan, Chilla, the commentary had me winning the battle, you know, on camera, and like the general consensus afterwards, people gave DNA the battle 2-1. But like, so and still to this day, Loso and a couple of my other friends like, yo, why do you always say that you're okay with people saying DNA beat you? Like, you won that battle. But I'm like, I get it. I get it when a general consensus navigates one way, you know? I'm not mad at that. It was my 8th battle ever. The Ilmac battle and the Big K battle, like, bro, they wrote their hearts out.
Yeah, it was
you know, like they literally took probably the best Ilmac performance you've seen in a long time, best Big K battle you've seen in a long time. And they're two guys that are going to be like top 50 ever, all time, 2 legendary battle rappers or whatever. I go back and I rewrite for those battles. Like, maybe I do a few things different. I don't know if a lot of it's on paper, but maybe there's just some mannerisms and some things I do, just eye contact. You know, I don't know what it is, but there's some other things. But there's not a whole lot on paper. XL battle was the 3rd battle in 3 weeks after I battled Clutch, then I battled Ill Will, then I battled XL. Those were all 3-round battles. And those were all like, I mean, I flew to California. What was that? What's that park called? Watkins, whatever. Like, we in the alleyway behind the park or whatever. Battling. Then I go battle Ill Will in like a huge 2,500. Then I get home 3 days. Then I go up to New York, you know, on iBattle, and I'm battling XL. And the reason I do that one over is just because I was on E, man. I was on E. I've done battles like weeks in a row before, but sometimes it's like you said, an opponent I could just go smoke. I couldn't just go smoke Clutch. I couldn't just go smoke Ill Will. I couldn't just go smoke XL. You know, I still didn't choke, but it's like I was on fumes that week. You know, and so I definitely know that my material and everything could be substantially better against XL.
All right, I got 2 last questions. From me. One is I'm ending it with sports, though. Y'all know how I get. I'm talking battle rap a lot less on these channels. I'm letting y'all know that now, man. Like my sports.
This is a battle rap show. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, it's kind of.
Shout out to the Kansas City Kings hat, man. It's fire.
Yeah. Oh,
Kansas City. Kansas City.
I see what he did there.
Man.
But no, my question is your work rate, as far as, I mean, like I said, last year you did the Poets of Autumn. You and several artists was out on the road with it, and it really it seemed like y'all had such an amazing time. Like, you didn't seem in really no hurry to get back into like battle mode, which was good. And of course, you know, spending time with your family, your wife, and all that good stuff. Is that the future for A Ward? Is it going to be a little more strategic, a little more, you know, just like picky and choosy, like a few grassroots here, a couple of big battles? Are you going to slow down your work rate as the year, like within these next years or 2, or you think you're back in full go mode now?
Well, I would say this much, you know, like, I really enjoy traveling, going to new leagues and new places. But now that I've done like 26 states, you know, been to a lot of cities and stuff, like, cities are reaching out to me that I've already been to, that I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to take that battle now, because it's just, you know, I've already got this stuff on my plate, you know. But I mean, there's still cities like, you know, that if they reach out, I still never battled in North Carolina, you know, South Carolina. You know, I've never battled in Massachusetts, I don't think. No, I don't think I battled it. I never did a massacre or anything like that. So in Boston, or whatever. So there's some areas like I would definitely still take those battles. But like you said, like last year, bro, I performed 35 of the 52 weekends last year in 2022. You know, being home 17 of 52 weekends is man, it's just, you know, it's tiring, bro. Like, I mean, I basically was on tour, you know, all of 2022 performing, whether it be Poets in Autumn, where we did 22 different cities, or whether it be the 18 battles that I did, or just the other random one-offs of going and speaking here or doing something there. Nice. But at the same time, I'm the prime of my artistry, you know what I mean? So I don't want to miss out. So I don't want to, like, you know, slow it so much down that it's just like, all right, you know, missing out on opportunities. or I'm missing out on battles because, you know, I'm not always going to be at the forefront of people wanting to book a ward. You know, I understand that over time that slows down. I'm going to try to stay there,
Right.
but over time, you know, there's going to be new talent, new everything. And so right now, since I'm in the prime of that, I'm going to consider every option, but I've done so much that, you know, there are a lot of options. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, I've been there in Alaska twice, you know, like I'm
That's
not just going to
crazy.
I'm just going to randomly battle somebody, you know, one rounder over here anymore. If it's not like all of my best friends are on the card and it's like, oh, we're going to Miami for 4 days. Like, you know, just book this guy. Like, and that's really what Conflicts was in LA, you know, like Loso, Saga, Street Hymns, you know, everybody's there. And it's like, all right, yo, we're going to be in LA for 4 days.
Conflicts isn't from the West, by the way.
Yeah, he's not.
I want to make sure I put that out there.
No, he's from the West. He was repping the West that day.
No, he wasn't.
He was repping the West. Was it on the West Coast? Was it in the West Coast?
What?
Was it in the West Coast?
I think I was in Ontario. I think that was in Canada, Ledge. You know what I'm saying?
No, we ain't doing that. Always, yeah. Every he's sneaky. Everybody that gets smoked by a Midwest person,
you don't understand, bro. I had people that was.
I said, hey, Payne smoked Keys. Oh well, Keys is technically.
He literally the dude Keys literally claimed Florida. You know what I'm saying? And he claimed Colorado too. But I'm saying, like, I was getting updates. Someone like, Nico, this dude A-Ward is. Man, he wilding dude up, right? Like, bro, I'm like, what y'all expect? Like, y'all went and got this fossil. You know, like, salute to him. He's from the old era, but you went and got this fossil to battle one of the top 10 battle rappers actively in the culture. What do you think was going to happen? Like, come on. Like, seriously?
Yeah, I'm counting that. That still counts.
Hey, Ledge was there for Jermaine Concern. He knows what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Don't bring that up. Don't laugh at that. What's wrong? Hey, everybody relax. Relax.
Matter of fact, I actually had
we still might have to book him one day.
I'm going to leave the sports one for the end because I got one for the sports one. But on the battle rap side, because you did say you're still in your prime right now, is there a battle that you would have regrets if this does not happen in my prime? I will leave battle rap culture with regret, or do you feel like you battled everybody you need to battle while you're in?
First of all, let's applaud Nico today. You've been asking some amazing questions. I don't know what you've been drinking. I don't know what happened.
Man, you gave me a day preparation, man. You know what I'm saying? You didn't call me the day of. You gave me
I think for me, Hollow is probably the battle where I'm like, yo, before it's all said and done, I would really, really want to battle Hollow to Don, you know? He's top 3 of my favorite of all time. You know, he's versatile like myself. You know, rest in peace, Pat Stay. That was one of the ones I wanted to battle too because of just the versatility and what they do. You know, but I say Hollow is probably that name that I think is attainable. You know, I don't put any kind of ceiling on my gift or my ascension. So like I'm not gonna sit here and say I could never battle Mook or Lux, which would be fire. But like I think Hollow to me is that name where I'm like, dang, that should have got locked in.
That's a very realistic battle though, too. Like,
very realistic. I like that. That's a really good one. Damn, I actually got one more. I got another question. I promise I'm gonna get to my sports question, but I just thought about it because you named. Is there any chance, the real possibility of a trilogy with you and Geechee?
It hasn't been really talked about. You know what I mean? Which is another testament to me feeling like I'm up 2-0. No offense.
I set that up. He caught the oop. He caught the oop.
There hasn't really been much talk about it. If it ever happens, I think it would have to happen on RBE or URL. You know, like it's almost like we battled in Kansas, which it was not my home league. It was about 3 hours from Kansas City or whatever. And then we battled in Compton in his backyard. You know, and then now we would need to battle like on one of the leagues way up here, you know,
not Chrome in New York,
or a Chrome, maybe Chrome or a RBE or a So if it was to happen, if it was to make sense, we don't really go back and forth with each other anymore, like we kind of did, you know, even like closely after the battle, we still kind of like threw some shots and stuff like that. There was one point during the Big K battle when I had to reschedule because I was sick. He was kind of in the spaces talking crazy, like when it was all fun to like make fun of me for having the flu and stuff. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I should, you know, maybe I should throw some shots and figure this out. But regardless, I think it's because, you know, I don't think Geechee clearly came out and won the second battle like I won the first battle. And a lot of people are just like, all right, yo, I've seen it. Like Geechee can't clearly beat this guy. Let's move on.
That's fair. Shout out to Queen, one of the day one supporters. I ain't long time no see in here. My question, sports, it got ended, man, because it's the biggest event of this month, man. Spence versus Crawford. Who you got?
I'm going with Crawford, man. I'm going with Crawford.
Yeah.
Since I don't watch a whole lot of boxing,
okay,
but I really, really, really like Crawford. And since Andre Ward, the original A Ward, is retired, and I can't just vote for him because of the name. I can't just go for him and cheer for him. But I enjoy watching boxing, but I just don't follow it so heavily that I can sit here and be like, yo, when Crawford fought this dude, or when I just know how highly anticipated this matchup is. I know Crawford, like me, has been criticized for being, winning on smaller circuits. Like he's always fighting and getting these wins or whatever, but he's not getting these big platform, like main stage fights or whatever. Yeah. So I love that storyline. If I'm not mistaken, isn't he from like Nebraska or
Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah. Yep. I went up and watched Nebraska play Oregon about 5 or 6 years ago. It was like the first game of the year in Lincoln. And Crawford was there, and he was doing some halftime stuff or whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Crawford.
Yeah. Hey, shameless plug. July 29th, we got Chef Trez versus Shotty P. We got Seabreed the Lyricist versus Shay Rack. July 29th. Also, we will be we're in early because per my request, so we can watch the fight on the projector screen. Shout out to the venue for that. So yeah, if you ain't got nothing up, man, pull up. You got a legend pass. I don't know if you see it. I text you. I told you got a legend pass at Bar Wars. Real Deal got one. Marv got one. There's very select few. Ill Will. That means your entry is always good with us.
He got a legend pass. Do we have a legend booking? We gonna see a word on a card?
I might need a warm up before Frack, man. What can we put together on 9 days notice?
You had to battle me.
You got a Les. Y'all got about 55 different conflicts over there in the Midwest. Who you got over there?
Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that. We ain't doing that. Nah. Listen. War is actually like he's the standard for our bookings. We always say like, hey, because Torture, I was like, yo, it was amazing to deal with. Shay Rack and Trez. I'm like, y'all are like you're on the A Ward list. Like his name is synonymous with professionalism all across the board. So he's definitely the standard for us on booking anyone outside of our state. So and he knows that he was he gave both our kind of our top artists 3-round battles, which is rare for somebody of his caliber. As well as I know, Nico, you get a grassroots guy shot. There's 1-rounders, and those 1-rounders, most of the time, them guys are mellowing in. So he went viral against your main concerns. Because of him, I would say, although he didn't take the opportunity, but Stack Boy Chuck, that helped him get an intake invite for RBE. So like, you know what I'm saying? He's worth the book. I don't think I need to sell him on book A War. Like, I don't think I need to sell it, but he's good business. But yeah, no, July 29th, if you ain't got nothing up, pull up, man. Watch some dope battles and watch the fight. So that's really all I got. What you got, Nico?
I got my last sports question because I'm tired. Les done try to put me against A Ward just because A Ward done battled in the West like 15 times. Look, we getting back to the real war. Les versus A Ward. I need to know because in football, Ledge is a Tom Brady fan. He doesn't really have a real sports team in football that he really follows. He's a Tom Brady
it's the fan. Pats. Don't do that. No, I hate when you do that. It's Pats. Drew Bledsoe, Ty Law. Don't do that. Don't watch your mouth. Go ahead. Proceed.
Oh, you were a fan back in the 90s when okay. So you're a Brady guy, right?
This guy.
So and you're obviously a Chiefs fan. You guys have Mahomes over there. So my question, and stand on this too. I know it's projecting. But in your opinion, is Mahomes at this stage better than what Brady was at this same stage? And do you think Mahomes passes Brady when it's all said and done?
Be careful.
Yes, at this stage, Mahomes is better. Yeah, I mean, you have to understand, I don't think Brady won 2 rings and went to 3 Super Bowls and 5 straight AFC championships in his first 5 years. Or first, I think 6 years. I don't think he did. So, like, we're talking about the first 6 years. I think Mahomes is in a better position than where Brady was. I definitely think Mahomes needs Mahomes needs about 2 more rings, and another MVP or 2 to be considered the greatest quarterback of all time. But I'm not a ring guy where it's like, oh, you have to have more rings than me. I think if Peyton had 4 rings, Peyton would be the greatest quarterback of all time. Peyton only ended up getting 2. But I mean, to me, Brady is still the greatest quarterback of all time as of right now. But I mean, man, shoot, Brady played for a long time. If Mahomes gets 10 more years, bro, I mean, he got 2, in the first 5. Like, I ain't no telling, that man might end up.
See, the thing, don't you got a sports show? I want to invite me to y'all podcast, please.
Oh yeah, you can come on. We shooting tomorrow if you want to.
For real? What time? What time?
Probably gonna be 8 o'clock your time.
8 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there. Oh,
Yep.
I can't. Shelby's birthday. But can you wish her a happy birthday? Because I know she watched.
Dang, this man forgot his wife's birthday with
I didn't
quickness because of sports.
Wow.
Don't y'all tag team like that. Happy birthday tomorrow. No show, by the way. So yeah, no show. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday to Shelby, for real, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. It didn't seem like this long, but my wife was like, yo, can we have dinner when you're done? And I was like, yeah, it should only be like 45 minutes, an hour. So she's probably on there starving and I'm probably in trouble. So
yeah, and I didn't take my dog outside and he's scratching at the door. So
I definitely appreciate y'all inviting me on.
Absolutely, man. The one and only A War. He got Frak in August, A Verb in September. And stay tuned for more. I'm sure he got some more big battles coming up, man. It's always a pleasure, man. We'll chop it up soon for sure.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care, man. Peace.
Later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in, man. This was the Battle Rap Fix. Nico was on. He was shooting. Look at he was from Curry range with these questions. Some amazing questions. We're gonna see if this is gonna be a sophomore slump next time we have a guest. But that was pretty good.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. Normally I'd be stressing when it comes to interviews, man. Anybody know me, man? I have interviews that been very stressful in the past. If y'all know me and know the people I've interviewed before. So normally when it comes to interviews, man, I like to get in that bag, man, and have questions, you know what I'm saying, for real, not the questions that you hear everywhere else. So, hopefully I, did what I needed to do today, man. Appreciate all the people. What I got to plug, man, is officially today, 7 p.m. So in about 2 hours, actually, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, West Battle Radio is back. West Battle Radio is officially back. You know what I'm saying? I want to salute everybody who's been supporting, through the whole process, man. It took a while to get to this point, but we are back, man. Salute to the whole entire team that is a part of West Battle Radio. Got myself, G Will, Foet Dev, Yak the Ripper, Fate, Bad News Brown, and I added my boy today. The people been asking, when is Clutch pulling back up to the shows? What shows he going to be a part of? The Kid Clutch is officially a part of West Battle Radio.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube.
We got a full cast. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all like, man, y'all got 7 people. Listen, man, this is like Foxhole Radio. If those of y'all remember the old Foxhole Radio way back in the day, you know what I'm saying? We running it like that. So stay tuned, man. We're going to be talking that West stuff for y'all, man. We definitely going to be chopping up about everything in battle rap, but also talking about the West as well. We have the Westworld event this weekend, featuring Rum Nitty versus Young Grizz as the main event. A lot of dope battles on this card. You know what I'm saying?
Let them know it's going to be live streamed.
It will be live streamed by
Let's
Ruin
go.
Your Day. So salute to Avo. It will be live streamed.
Go.
And I got confirmation. So I'm going to just say this right now because I got confirmation. You know what I'm saying? For the show, I will be doing commentary for this event this Saturday, Westworld event. So y'all pull up, watch that, man. Also, the 10K magnitude tournament, same card, man. You know what I'm saying? 3 dope matchup, 10,000. You know what I'm saying? On the line. So definitely tune into that. Outside of that, man, I don't have anything else to plug, man. Real quick, because we didn't have a show. Obviously, we do our shows on Monday, man. Yesterday was the GOAT's B-Day, man. Ref, happy belated to Ref. Y'all ain't sending B-Day love to Ref. Salute to Ref, man. One of the GOATs in the battle rap culture, man.
The only thing good in Ohio.
Love, man.
Only thing good in Ohio.
Hey, cut it out, man. Watch out. Watch out. Man. The GOAT is from Ohio. You watch yourself. The GOAT's from Ohio.
Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Gina, Mama. I don't know if she was here, but if she was briefly, what's up, Dishri? All those that couldn't be here. T, Ro, Mo, everybody, man, like everybody. This was a really good interview. I hope you guys enjoy it and share this stream and let people know how much good times y'all had on here. Give give this man Nico some, like, man, I'm just really impressed. I can't believe this motherfucker was like, he did research. Oh man, Verb said this. Well, I'm like, this nigga think he what's the man name? Some Bryant Gumbel type of nigga. Look at this nigga, boy.
Hey, look, man, I can't take all the credit, man. These brothers out here in the culture be recording these 4-hour Twitter spaces and chopping them up for
shout out to the space,
so I can keep up with certain narratives.
Shout out to the space cadets.
Salute to y'all, man. You know I'm not pulling up to these spaces when they happening, but I see them on YouTube every now and then. I see the content, so salute to that. Shout out 3 Letterman, man. He be in there with Verb. They be having good dialogue from what I be listening to, man. Sure. So salute to that. But yeah, man. Hey, man, brother, man, he done asked you about 5 times about this Desmond Howard. Respond to the question, Ledge.
Oh, I did. We talked in the chat. He said he was too. He was devastated too. I responded, man. As far as super chats, I don't think I'm eligible to do the super chat things yet, Mo. Like, I don't think so. But maybe. But we keep having guests, keep having good turnouts like this, dope shows. I'm pretty sure that will be something we can add as an addition to the show. I appreciate y'all, man. This was really, really good, man. You never know how interviews go because sometimes they don't be as engaged. People be busy, but he had really good answers and he answered everything directly, and we enjoyed that, man. So on behalf of my man Nico, the undisputed voice of the West, you know what I'm saying, make sure y'all tune in. He had the links on his Twitter and all that for y'all to pull up and support his show with all of the fellas and all that, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all new character researching Nico different. Ledge, your car is looking. Oh, yo, Britt, thank you so much. And it will. And for those who can't come to my event, we will be live streaming it for free on YouTube on Bar Wars channel. So please subscribe to Bar Wars channel and check that out. You know, we're gonna still be doing some promo with a couple of weeks left in this. And shout out to, I think that was Ja who donated. Anything y'all donate is going straight to the event. Is going to the event. Y'all know me. I don't play with y'all funds like that. That shit is going on people's travel. Get, you know what I'm saying, making sure Trez got a nice quality room. Because that's the last thing. You don't want the word to spread like, man, you get booked at there. They're gonna give you them rooms ain't, you know what I'm saying? You want good positive words sent back to the community. You know what I'm saying? So every dollar y'all help with, I appreciate that. Ledge, one more thing. Hey, you can't be doing the one more thing here on YouTube because the comments don't move.
I told you T be bored. I be telling you about T. She be bored.
Yeah. I'm gonna let. I gotta nip this in the. But I'm gonna let you know this right now. This it ain't. Yeah, this your one and done right here because the chat don't move as quickly as back on caffeine. So I like you and let me see. Look. She. So your one more thing, you deleted it to respond to Nico?
Yeah, I'm telling you to be bored, man. Salute. Man.
Shout out to Tusum and all that. But yeah, that's really it, man. I'm trying to stall so she can get to the question. Did she type it? I'm stalling. I'm waiting on her. Don't book people at the Roach Motel.
I think she's just saying her slogan. Man. You know what I'm saying? One more thing. That's like her slogan.
Oh, you have 53 viewers. Congrats. Really?
Salute to that. Yeah. No, we was up there.
I ain't know this was in. All right. I thought it was like 12 or 13. Y'all listen, AT. As long as you in here and the supporters that I'm accustomed to having in here, that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters to us. The day ones.
Hey,
y'all been rocking with us.
If y'all haven't already, I know we about to be about here, man. Hopefully y'all hit that like, man. Share this out there to the people too, man. Y'all saying it's a great interview, man. Share it like it's a great interview, man. Get the message out there, man. Share the link. Put on all the social medias, you know what I'm saying? Hit the like, you know what I'm saying? So we get the algorithm. Y'all love that algorithm word. Well, help the algorithm up over here by hitting the like, you know what I'm saying? It help the algorithm out.
Man, love y'all like cook food, man. On behalf of Nico, the voice of the West, I am Ledge. I do have to go. Enjoy y'all time. As always, keep it battle rap, peace, and love. Why T shoot know the way out? We out of here. Bye.